saints.
Magdalene is one whose identity and character are the subject of much controversy. She's clearly identified in the Gospels as a follower of Jesus and of having 7 demons cast out of her, and standing at the foot of the cross, and is clearly identified by St. John in today's Gospel as the first person to see the risen Lord. But she is also identified by several in the Christian tradition as Mary, the sister of Martha, who sat at the Lord's feet whilst Martha served, and also as the penitent woman who prostrated herself at the Lord's feet and anointed them with oil. St. Gregory the Great is often put forward as the one who suggests that Mary Magdalene is the same person in each of these gospel passages. And more broadly, the idea took hold that she was a woman who had been guilty of a great sin, perhaps a prostitute, but who had then repented of her sins and became a close follower of the Lord, something itself which might be suggested by her being possessed by 7 demons. Her importance to the Dominican order predates the more recent elevation of today's celebration to a feast by some 700 plus years. Part of the reason for her importance is that the order was entrusted with the care of a shrine to her in the south of France, a place which contained her relics and was said to be the site of her tomb, and which had been a place which had drawn people to venerate her for many years. Therefore, within less than 100 years, the order had been given a key site to care for, a place of importance, a place of pilgrimage, which was intimately connected with one of the key biblical saints. But it wasn't just this historical aspect which gave her importance to the order. She is one of our patrons because we see in the glimpses of her life in the Gospels some of the key features that are important to Dominicans. In other words, that she reflects something of the Dominican life. We see her, as St. Thomas Aquinas put it, as the apostle to the apostles, the one who went and told the apostles that she had seen the Lord after his resurrection, that she announced the good news of the victory over sin and death to the apostles is of great significance, in that she is a model for our own task of proclaiming the good news. We should also note that she is ever present with the Lord and desires only to be with him. She is there at the foot of the cross. She is there in the garden at the tomb, both occasions notably when the apostles have scattered. There is then a burning desire to be with the Lord at all times and to follow him everywhere on his journey. And surely that same desire to always be with the Lord should be firmly established as part of our own Dominican lives. And whether we take her as being a woman of ill repute or not, we see, very importantly, St. Mary Magdalene, initially at least, as a sinner, as one under the influence of evil, but a sinner who was liberated from the power of evil by God's grace to become one of his most close companions. We Dominicans are sinners, but sinners who are striving by God's grace to be followers of our Lord, to be committed to our task of announcing the good news. And we hope in and through that task to be more deeply converted, so that we might have our Lord ever present in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. And so we Dominicans today seek to be inspired by St. Mary Magdalene's example, hoping that by her prayers we will grow ever more in the grace that the Lord offers us, that we will be ever more closely converted to the Lord and dedicated to the sacred task of preaching to which we have been called.